Everybody ready to get started?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. This is the July 13th, 2022 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. My name is Katie Barron, and I'm the zoning hearing examiner for the city of Cincinnati today, and I'll preside over the hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20220091. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any opposing party wishes to offer may be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. The public will have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. If there is more than one person opposing an application, those persons should decide amongst themselves the length of time each will have to speak. If an opposition group is in attendance, I may request that a spokesperson be chosen to speak on behalf of the group. If the applicant is represented by an attorney, the applicant's attorney may cross-examine any person who has testified at the hearing. If a party of record is represented by an attorney, the attorney for the party of record may present witnesses after the applicant has presented its case and may cross-examine any person who has testified at the hearing. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to any application, the applicant shall have an opportunity to rebut the testimony and/or argument offered in opposition. After the applicant has been given an opportunity to rebut any testimony and/or argument offered in opposition, any attorney for a party of record will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. Finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make a closing statement. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. I may also refuse to consider hearsay testimony or documents. This means evidence that you want to introduce that consists of a statement made by a person who is not present at this hearing or a document that includes the statement of a person who is not present at the hearing. In the event of any technical difficulties with the video conferencing technology, I may continue or postpone this hearing at my discretion. All right. So all persons providing testimony will be sworn now. If anybody's intending to testify, if you could raise your right hand and unmute yourself, and I'll swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Yes.
I do.
All right, perfect. So we'll start with the applicant, and whoever wants to present first would be great. And if you would just say your name for the record, that would be great.
Hi, everybody. My name is Megan Meyer. I'm with ABC Signs. We are the primary applicant and contractor for this project. And today we are requesting a pole sign that is actually size-wise compliant. However, the site itself does not really allow for a code compliant setback. So we are requesting today to allow a approximately 2-foot setback instead of the required 7.5, due to not really having any other viable options for that to go. I'd be happy to review some of the documents that were submitted if you'd like. I did include a layout of the actual code compliant site plan where that 7.5 mark falls. And as you can see from the driveway photos, that is literally all a space for either cars or pedestrians. So obviously a pole sign can't quite go in the middle of that. And generally speaking, also traveling north or south on Central Parkway, even their wall signs saying Mozart Garage is pretty difficult to see. So this pole sign would really allow them more visibility, especially with that new stadium right next door. So that is pretty much the summary here. We are just hoping to install that closer to the property line than is technically permitted.
All right. Anybody else on behalf of the applicant?
I could just add just more from a public perspective, setting that sign back those 7 feet and taking up pedestrian or parking spaces can be an issue in that area where, as we know, parking has become very hard to come by, especially with the stadium going up on game days. I mean, it's impossible for people to park in MTR. So I think the last thing we want to do is take away parking spaces that the public could use. That's the main thing I wanted to add.
And then, so it's basically, you want to place it here, it'll increase visibility.
Yes, it'll be easier to locate the location because again, the wall sign itself is difficult to see. So you really don't know that you were there unless you are within, say, 30 to 50 feet of it.
If I could add a second to that, we rent out spots there to the Symphony Hotel. They on what is that, on 14th Street? They park their hotel guests there, and they've let us know that it's really hard for guests to find, you know, the garage, and oftentimes their innkeeper, I guess, has to actually point them out and say, hey, here it is. Even though it's, you know, a block down the street, it's very hard for them to actually see, hey, this is where the Mozart garage is. It's not really obvious.
And does the sign, the location, will it kind of fit in with the neighborhood?
I would imagine so. The entire city itself has kind of been on an upswing as far as, I think, updating. And especially, I mean, that stadium right next door is brand spanking new. So we're just trying to keep up with, you know, all of the technology options as well. You know, EMCs have become much more popular in the last couple of years, and it really allows owners to display really any information that may be pertinent to a successful business.
Yeah, and just kind of to add to that, it wouldn't be anything like that new sign on Central. You know, it's a lot smaller than that, and it really does give us that flexibility of control where we're able to access it from you know, our office place and make necessary edits to it, have graphics that can really take our brand to the next level.
And I'd like to add, all of the EMCs do have options, you know, to keep certain statements or messages that are on there static for X amount of time. So this is not going to ever be anything that is repeatedly, consistently changing that's going to cause any issues as far as drawing the eye away, and it won't be a consistent change. It's not going to be extremely distracting.
And I think you touched on it. There were no other options of where to place the sign. This is the best location. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Megan, can we also talk about, because we tried the other way and the other way didn't work.
Yes, we had originally actually applied for the EMC to go on the wall where the Mozart garage sign is. But due to that sign already existing, a second sign was not permitted per code. And really a double-sided EMC placed on that pole sign is really going to be a better option anyways, as far as visibility goes.
I don't think I have any other questions. Is there anything else you guys wanted to present before I close out the hearing?
I do not have anything, no.
Okay.
And then I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. And the individual with Ms. Meyer, I don't think I got your name and email.
Oh, Molly Hagledge.
And did you want a copy of the decision?
Yes, please.
What is the best email for you?
It's MOLLY
Okay.
at abcsign.com.
All right, perfect. All right, so you should expect a decision from us within 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you, Sharon. Good to see you, Meg.